You can get an underplate and some underpants all in one shot. Underplate, underpants.
There's an old curiosity shop. Every once in a while I go by there for the fond recollections that lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Well, hi everyone, I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop. This is going to be a weird video because I'm going to string together a bunch of different clips that have been sitting around in my camera for a while. I'll do some voiceovers when I have to because of music that's too loud. And I'm going to jump around a lot, but I hope that's okay. This is just kind of a sampler, I guess, of just this, that, and the third. So I'm glad you joined me. Well, here I am in a West Philadelphia thrift shop. I have taken you there several times before. Run-of-the-mill stuff, secretary desk there that we see. Oh gosh, those were so... Everybody had one of those in their living rooms and from the, turn of the century. Well, they're still making those things. That one looked like it was one from the 1940s or 50s. So here I am in the picture frame department. This was kind of sad because this is a 100-year-old frame, and it's sort of in that OG pattern. These were always veneered. This one is in really bad shape. All the veneer was off of the outside perimeter. And so I decided to leave it there. I do find those pretty frequently, usually with old mirror glass still intact. So, yeah, they were playing the music pretty loudly in here on this particular day. So, nothing really to see there on that particular shelf. Run-of-the-mill ceramics. Another one of those sort of generic-looking colonial people that I think I'm about ready to pick up. I usually don't buy these colonial figurines. That one was pretty expensive, and they're pretty common. Some of these, what do you call those? Precious moments, I think. That they were very big years ago. This bunny planter was cute, but it was chipped. Speaking of chips, I didn't want to buy the poker chips. And this box right here, you remember I bought this particular box, maybe 2 years ago, and it had one of the characters from the Old Curiosity Shop on it. Now these were issued by a company in England. I'm going to turn it over in a second and you'll see that. Most of the characters are from Dickens novels, and the reason why I bought the one that I bought last year was obviously because it had a character on it from the Old Curiosity Shop. And so this one I decided to put back. It was nice, but I don't know, I just decided not to buy it. And I wasn't honestly familiar with this particular character. I have read some of the Dickens novels, but I was not familiar with Miss Gamp. And I must admit, I don't think I ever read Martin Chuzzlewit. I don't remember it being on the high school reading list. So that's a Dickens that I don't think I've ever read. I've seen this or that lusterware pot before, but it has a chip on the spout. So I did a little about face and left it right where it was. Moving along here on the shelf. This little piece here was nice. It's sort of a Majolica looking piece, but most likely made in Germany or Japan, probably Japan, sometime in the 1930s. We'll turn it upside down and you can't see underneath because the sticker is covering it, but it's really screaming Japan. It's cracked. stained, and that kind of thing doesn't really do very well. So I passed that by. I don't think I have. Well, here's a fairy lamp, of course, and I guess Indiana Glass made most of these in the 70s and 80s. This had amberino on the bottom, but it was chipping off. And I'm not a big fan of the fairy lamps. Really, on eBay, they're only selling for $3, $4, $5, $6, $7. I know some folks are getting more than that, maybe on live sales or whatnot. But the internet is just flooded with fairy lamps, and I said they probably sell for $5 or $6. And that's what the shop was asking. That's what the Goodwill was asking for it. So I didn't buy it. I mean, I really like buying things that are much older than that. They're pretty when they're lit up. I remember my mother having 2 or 3 of them back in the 1980s. And they're still very pretty when they have candles in them. Okay, lamps, but nothing exciting. Let's go somewhere else and see if we can find some Carnival Glass. I think I can. Okay, in the very next thrift shop that I went to on this particular day, look what I found. Now, I have slowed down the film speed so that I can talk a little bit. Here's a beautiful piece of Carnival Glass, and this is the old stuff. And it's not the typical marigold with grapes on it. This is called peach opalescent, and it's got cherries on it. Now, I paid $6.50 for it, which was a nice price, and it had no damage on it. And this is made most likely by the Dugan Company, or they later became Diamond, so most people refer to them as Dugan Diamond. And it is 3-footed, as you can see. The little opalescent ring around the outside ratchets up its value just a little bit, and that peach-colored luster is beautiful. So that was a definite must. In the cart it went, and I'm going to put that into my own collection. I probably have about, maybe 30 pieces of Carnival Glass. I'm going to have to dig them all out and show you sometime. That's going to date to sometime around between 1910 and 1920-ish. I was happy to find it. Well, many of you are going to remember these from your childhood refrigerators. It's a Westinghouse refrigerator dish, and of course, these came with a brand new Westinghouse refrigerator in the 1950s, maybe the 60s. You can see the W, it's upside down right now, but there it is on the bottom. This is the full handle, the W is right in there as well, whether you can see it. And it sort of has a textured top. It's nice, it has that yellow tint the way early Pyrex does. And I don't know who made these for Westinghouse. Maybe it was Corning who actually made the glass for Westinghouse. I don't know. But at $6, I'm going to pass on the refrigerator dish and let someone else discover it. But I thought you'd like to see it. Memories. Digging out leftover meatloaf from a refrigerator dish like that. It's a nice piece from the late 30s into the 40s. Well, you can see right now my cart is full of nothing. Nothing. And that's okay. I do not consider it a failure when I leave a store when my wallet is just as fat as it was when I entered. Okay, everyone, here is an example of Anchor Hocking's line. Now, when it's in dinnerware, of course, it's called peach luster. But when it's in bakeware, it's referred to as copper tint. And here we see the original foil stickers that are right on there with the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. So there we see Fire King copper tint. Little scalloped little baking dishes there. It's nice to see the original label. Okay, there it is. Well, I am in an antique store that is new to me. It's in an old building, and so the rooms are very small, and we're all wearing masks and trying to keep our distance. But wow, there are so many things to see. I might talk about a few, but for the most part, I'm just going to browse and let you shop with me. Wow, isn't she beautiful? Oh my goodness. $35. Beautiful colorized portrait with the convex glass. Look at this. Mirrored, I guess it's a mirrored vanity box of some sort. Jewelry, which I don't know anything about. Wow. Old telephones, old radios, old cameras. I love it. I'm still here. I just get busy looking at everything. Because there's so much to see. This is what's usually referred to as a clock topper, to sit on top of the flat mantle clocks. Well, like that mantle clock right there. And it's the original paint. I like the combination of black and orange. I don't think I've ever seen one painted black and orange. Of course, any flat surface, you know, those Victorians are going to decorate it with something. They were popular even into the just after the turn of the century, but by the 20s, I think it was out of style. And horses seem to be a popular choice for those clock toppers. There's a trombone. Wow, look at the Easter decorations. $14. There's a cardboard container with a bunny. $14. That doesn't seem like a horrible price for a vintage decoration to use at Easter time. All this Carnival Glass. Of course, marigold was the most popular color. Wow, so many little rooms. Oh, lovely. Unmentionables. Right here next to the fine china. Okay. You can get an underplate, and some underpants, all in one shot. Underplate, underpants. Oh, I must have a very small mind. I'm so easily amused. Okay, it's been a hot minute since I've been to this thrift store, so I'm excited, and I'm taking you inside with me. Let's go! Here's an old pressed back kitchen chair of which hundreds of thousands were made. This one's going to date to around the turn of the century. And it's called pressed back. You'll often hear people mistakenly refer to these as carved. But this is all part of the Industrial Revolution. It's all machine done. And if we look very carefully, we can see that you don't have sharp edges around all of the intricate leaves and curlicues and whatnot. It's because this was pressed. It was stamped by a machine, and so you really have rounded edges. Let's zoom in there. It's not wanting to... There we go. See how rounded that is? Now, if that were hand carved, you would see much more detail, and you wouldn't have these rounded edges where the machine actually stamps this wood. And these were just stamped out in the hundreds of thousands, these chairs. And usually you consider these to be chairs that would have been used in kitchens. Nice big oak seat. Back up and let you... Well, you've all seen these before. They're really almost a dime a dozen in this part of the country anyway. Now this guy is beautiful, and I did end up purchasing him. A few tiny scratches on the snout and right above his eye, but I love those soft colors, the way they, I guess it's called airbrushing, the way they do the paint. And he's not going to be for sale just yet. You'll have to hold on for a while. But he will be coming up in the future in a special auction called All Creatures Great and Small. It'll be a full animal auction coming soon. Well, here I am doing voiceovers again. This is one of the stores that does play music very loudly. Now, I just mentioned a minute ago, a special auction I'm going to do called All Creatures Great and Small. I've been saving up little animal figurines for several months now, and I haven't decided exactly when I'm going to put it together, but everything has been photographed and all boxed up, and I hope to do that sometime between now and the end of the year. We'll see. Things kind of get busy in November and December, so I may have to wait until the springtime to bring out the animals. Well, I'm moving along here. That turkey that you just saw a minute ago was not an old one. I don't remember what I saw for sale in this particular store. This cobalt blue turns out to be modern stuff, so I put that back. And what am I doing now? Let's see. Doing the voiceovers at home, I don't remember, because I think I filmed this, maybe 2 weeks ago. Some interesting sort of mid-century wall art there, looks like, on that bottom shelf. This was cute. Little three-dimensional baby all asleep. I'm not sure why I didn't put that in the cart, but it looks like I'm going to put it back on the shelf. That was kind of cute. I might should have bought that. I might shoulda. How's that, English teachers? I might shoulda bought that. I know better than that. My mother teached me better than that. I was trying to see. Something about this sign made me think it was sort of an old-fashioned font, but once I dig it out of there, it turns out it's not old at all. So I left it there. Well, I see a few things in that cart. Oh, there's that cheese compote, which I think is just sold about 10 minutes ago. These were nice. Horses. I think there was damage on those, which is the reason why I put those back. Oh, there's that collie again. So cute. Well, made in occupied Japan, here is a pear, a colonial pear. You know, this is the kind of thing that really doesn't have much collectability these days. Occupied Japan, some figures are still valuable and collected, but colonial figures like this in these little porcelain trinkets, these are very common, and oh my goodness, I think hundreds of thousands of these must have been made. I see them almost everywhere I go. They're nice, but at $4 each, $8 for the pair, I can't really do much with that. So we'll just leave those there. Well, here is the old man, and I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about the cat. A lot of you were asking for some updates, and I appreciate the kind thoughts and comments. Salem did visit his vet a few days ago, and it looks as though he is going to sail into his 20th birthday next spring if the Lord continues to be willing to let this old cat hang around. He's in pretty good shape. He will turn 20, as I said, next spring. And other than a little bit of arthritis, a tiny bit of vision loss, a few teeth that were removed a while ago, and just a tiny bit of liver disease, but so mild he doesn't even need any medication. So he's a good old cat. And I want to thank everybody for asking me about Salem the cat. 20 years, hopefully this spring. So long, folks.